Hey everyone, I'm Ami, and this is the final episode of the core message summaries of one of my favorite books, Daniel H. Pink's When. Friendly reminder, these short video series are built on each other, so in order to fully understand what's coming in this one, I highly recommend watching the previous ones. Most of them are under 10 minutes because I know time is precious, so I try to keep them short but contentful. Without further ado, let's get into this. The importance of breaks. In the previous videos, I've talked about when it makes sense, when it is the most efficient to perform certain activities. Now I'm going to talk about what's even more important for proper efficiency, when it's worth taking a break. There are two types of breaks: vigilance breaks and restorative breaks. Vigilance breaks are brief pauses, short timeouts before great challenges to review our thoughts, what has to be completed, what the instructions are to avoid error. It's like a mental and cognitive preparation for the challenges we are about to face so that we will be able to take the obstacles well and focused. Pink tells a story about a day he visited an operation led by Dr. Kevin Tremper, professor and chairman of Michigan Medical School. Dr. Tremper oversaw the work of 150 doctors and the same number of residents at that time. A young man was lying on the operation room table with a smashed jaw. Nurses, physicians, a technician surrounded the table, and before starting the operation, they called a timeout. They took one step backward, followed by a quick pre-surgery consultation. Everyone introduced themselves by their first name. They proceeded through a 9-step checklist that ensured that they got the right patient, they knew his condition and allergies, what special equipment they needed. When everyone finished their self-introduction and all the questions were answered, the timeout ended. This all took about 3 minutes. After putting the patient to sleep, the team stepped back once again and reviewed the pre-incision timeout card, which was a sort of another checklist to make sure that everyone was prepared. The goal was perfect concentration, both individually and as a team. Then the surgeon began repairing the jaw. Vigilance breaks play a big role in minimizing the possibility of error before performing a task of great responsibility. The professor said that in the time he implemented these breaks, the quality of care has improved and complications have declined in the hospital. Restorative breaks. Danish school children who take their national standardized exams in the afternoon score significantly worse than those who take their tests earlier in the day. This could be solved with a very simple and easy to implement method, which is implementing 30-40 minute long breaks. Based on a study, if students had a 30-40 minute long break to eat, play, have a refreshing juice, or just to have a chat before writing the test, their results increased despite the later time of taking the test. Researchers say a break causes an improvement that is larger than the hourly deterioration. These breaks are the restorative breaks, which help you to detach yourself from something you will have to focus on soonly. With regard to restorative breaks, there are 5 tips worth keeping in mind. The first one is micro breaks. Something beats nothing. Micro short breaks are effective and worth sacrificing for. In the afternoon, when we are working on a task too long, we tend to lose sight of the goal. This is called habituation. We can prevent habituation with short breaks and reactivate our focus and commitment for the goal by short breaks. Second one is moving breaks. Build more movement in breaks. Movement increases energy level, improves concentration and our mood. It's worth getting up and walking for 5 minutes every hour. This helps more than fitting a single half-hour walk into the day. Social breaks, more effective together. Most of the researchers on restorative breaks show that resting in company is more effective, especially if we choose the who and how, and if we don't talk about work with colleagues. Number 4, nature breaks. Better outside than inside. Nature, trees and flowers provide spiritual refreshment and have a meditative effect. It's worth even taking a mini break to look out into the nature, or if we can't leave the room, then let's create some bonding moments with our houseplants. 5. Mental gear shifting breaks. The best is when you are able to disconnect completely, physically and psychologically from work. Don't check your emails, don't scroll your social feeds or multitask during breaks. Being able to break away from work and work-related technical gadgets for a short period of time leads to mental vigilance and reduces emotional exhaustion. In the opposite case, it leads to tension and stress. Researchers say psychological detachment from work, in addition to physical detachment, is crucial, as continuing to think about job demands during breaks may result in strain. Lunch breaks. The most important meal of the day is lunch. While breakfast is essential for a balanced diet, lunch is more impactful to the body. Lunchtime is a restorative break where it's worth to keep in mind all the rules of restorative breaks with special attention to the detachment factor. The two components for the most effective lunch breaks are autonomy and detachment. Autonomy to choose what, how, when, and with whom we would like to spend our time with, and detachment from work-related issues. These will increase bigger productivity when solving complex tasks where we need more concentration. Naps. I was never a good sleeper during the day. Even as a child, I always preferred to stay awake in the kindergarten, and even later on I couldn't sleep in broad daylight, especially around the middle of the day. So I have yet to introduce this habit into my life. According to a study by the University of California, Berkeley, taking a nap in the afternoon increases vigilance and the receptiveness of the brain. Nap improves mood, increases vigilance, and strengthens the immune system. But what's the right amount of nap? A 30-90 minute sleep is long, and we may feel dizzy when waking up. But the ideal amount of sleep that improves vigilance is 10 to 20 minutes. It's worth drinking a coffee beforehand because it takes about 25 minutes for coffee to get into the bloodstream. According to researchers, 5 minutes of sleep is too short. It did not reduce the feeling of fatigue, but 10 minutes already had a positive effect, and this positive effect lasted for up to 3 hours. If we exceed the 20-minute limit, we will feel dizzy and slow. It's worth to understand the concept of efficiency and not associating breaks with weakness. We should avoid highlighting the dedication of people who don't take breaks, because there is a higher chance that those people will make a mistake and perform poorly, or at least less efficient compared to the ones who do take breaks. Well, my opinion about this is that it's worth to bear in mind what researchers say, that breaks are beneficial for us. But I think we all know colleagues who take breaks unreasonably many times, work like a pro and have breaks like a pro. One of my high school teachers said, a true pro is who can focus on a certain thing 100% at the right time. If that's a break, then have a quality break. If that's work, make sure to work efficiently. That's it for today. And this is the final video of the series about professional timing. If you haven't seen the previous videos yet, then make sure to check them out. Don't forget to subscribe and spend a few minutes with me next time again in order to raise your self-awareness. Bye.